Cut. Sorry for the little mix-up here and welcome to another video. Unlike the title and the thumbnail of this video suggest, this isn't an actual what I eat in a day video. However, we're still gonna talk about what I eat in a day videos made by other creators. And the reason for that is that I personally think these what I eat in a day videos can be problematic for some people. And on top of that, I also wanted to take this opportunity and explain how your metabolism works and what components influence how many calories you can eat each and every day. But before we start, I wanted to throw out a trigger warning because although personally I have no issues whatsoever with watching these what I eat in a day videos and talking about food and calories, I had eating disorders in the past myself, so I understand that for some people this type of content can be quite triggering and upsetting. And if this is you, then please do not continue watching this video. There are plenty of other videos from me that you can watch if you want to, but you should never watch any videos or watch any type of content that is triggering or upsetting and makes you feel bad. But for those who decided that you want to continue watching, let's go on with the video. As I said, I personally have no issues whatsoever with watching these what I eat in a day videos, and actually I kind of enjoy them even because these videos can give me some meal inspiration. They can give me ideas for new recipes that I want to try out, with an emphasis on want to try out because I rarely actually try them out, but whatever. It is an opportunity to learn about other cuisines and other diets because everyone eats a little bit differently, and I think that can be just very interesting to see. And another thing that makes these videos interesting is that they're often filmed as a vlog kind of, so you not only get to see what this content creator eats every day, but you also get a glimpse into their personal life as well. And another positive aspect of these what I eat in a day videos is that they can serve as a reminder to fuel your body and consume enough calories to support your body properly. And I think this is especially true when the content creator displays the number of calories that they eat, and if that number is quite high or higher than we would have expected. And especially for women who tend to undereat, these types of videos can be inspiring and motivating to maybe eat a little bit more themselves, because seeing these rather fit and lean content creators eating quite a lot of food can lead you to lose that fear of eating a little bit more, which is a good thing. However, revealing how many calories someone eats every day can both be positive, but it can also backfire. And the reason is, if the number of calories displayed is very high, then you might ask yourself why you can't eat that much, and you might think that maybe something is wrong with you because you have a similar body and you do a similar type of workout, for example. And the opposite is also true if the number of calories consumed per day is rather low, so for example 1200 calories a day, then you might think that you're eating too much and maybe you should eat less because otherwise you're gonna get fat, or this is the right number to eat. And this simple display of calories consumed per day can lead to someone obsessing over the number of calories they eat every day, and they might get upset, for example, if they shoot over their calorie target, even if it's just by 5 calories. And this can really distort and destroy your relationship with food and exercise. And I think comparing your caloric intake with that of the content creator is especially tempting when you are roughly the same age, the same height, the same body weight, and the same gender as the content creator you're watching. So I would never compare myself with a 30-year-old male bodybuilder, but I would compare myself to a 25-year-old female fitness influencer who has roughly the same body shape. However, as I'll explain later on in the video, you shouldn't compare your caloric intake to that of someone else, especially not a content creator or fitness influencer you follow on Instagram or YouTube, because what you see in terms of their diet and their training is only the tip of the iceberg. But more to that later. Another problem I see is that by watching these videos, you might think that this is how you're supposed to eat in order to be healthy. And as a result, you might question your own food choices. And I think in some cases, this can actually be motivational and good, because if you have a rather unhealthy diet, this can motivate you to make some changes for the better. However, it can also make you believe that your food choices are inferior and bad for your health. And I think this is very problematic for two reasons. First of all, there are no good and no bad foods. Unless something is poisonous or you're allergic to it, all foods are good foods, if consumed in moderation. How much of a food you can consume depends on its nutrient density, how much calories it has, etc. So you can eat more tomatoes than brownies in order to get to the same number of calories. And the tomatoes might also have more vitamins than the brownies. However, that doesn't make the tomatoes inherently better than brownies. And you can perfectly have both of them in a balanced diet and shouldn't feel bad about it. And the second reason I think this can be problematic is because some people might simply not have the access, the money, or the time to get these healthy ingredients and actually prepare every single meal. And making them feel bad about their own food choices is counterproductive. Of course, I encourage everyone to adopt a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle. However, eating healthy looks very different for different people. And of course, there are some guidelines, but there's no one-size-fits-all healthy diet. To just give you a bit of an example of why that might be, when I was in ED recovery, eating a piece of chocolate was the healthier and better choice for me at this moment and in this situation than to eat an apple. So you see, eating healthy is very subjective and it has to fit your needs in your current situation. So you have to find what a healthy diet looks like for you. And the last problem I have with these what I eat in a day videos is that they're a thoroughly planned out highlight reel of what that person eats. So it's not necessarily an accurate representation of what they actually eat each and every day. So you should take these what I eat in a day videos with a grain of salt. And even if what they're showing in these videos is an actual representation of what they normally eat, it still can be problematic, especially if they show their physique. Because that might lead you to think that if you train and eat exactly like them, then you're also gonna look like them. And I hate to break it to you, but even if you have the same age, the same gender, the same height, the same body weight, you follow the same diet, and you follow the same training routine, you're never gonna look like them. Because of that, you might start questioning yourself. You might ask yourself if something's wrong with you, if you're somehow broken, because clearly for this content creator it worked, but for you it didn't. So you must be the problem, right? No, you're not the problem. The reason why you don't look like them is because there are simply too many other factors involved that are outside of your control, such as your bone structure, genetics, hormones, and also metabolism. And to understand why metabolism can make such a huge difference between two people, I'm gonna explain it to you. Unfortunately, I studied biomedicine in my undergrad and I had a whole semester on human metabolism. And this is the book I used to study human metabolism with. So it's quite a read. Human metabolism is complicated. But fortunately, you don't need to be an expert in biochemistry or read this book in order to understand metabolism. First of all, what is metabolism? Metabolism is the umbrella term for all biochemical reactions that take place within your body and that lead to the transformation of chemical substances. And with substances in that context, that can be anything from pharmaceutical drugs, but that also means carbohydrates, fats, proteins, etc. And broadly speaking, these biochemical reactions can be classified into two groups. The first is anabolism and the second one is catabolism. Anabolism is also called biosynthesis because it describes all reactions that build something. So for example, if you build new muscle mass, the reactions leading to that would be anabolic. And because they build something new, these reactions use up energy. The opposite of that is catabolism. Catabolic reactions take something apart. So they break bigger molecules and bigger substances down into smaller components. For example, if you digest complex carbohydrates, catabolic reactions will break them down into simple sugars. And in the process, energy is set free and made available to your body. And the energy I'm talking about here in the context of metabolism is essentially calories. And the balance of these energy consuming anabolic reactions and energy releasing catabolic reactions is what dictates how much energy you need per day, or in other words, how many calories you have to consume every day. And this total amount of energy, or the total number of calories that you need per day, can also be described as the total daily energy expenditure, or TDEE. So your TDEE is made of 4 different components. The first is resting metabolic rate. This is the energy needed at complete physical rest to maintain normal bodily functions. So for you to breathe and for your heart to keep beating, etc. And resting metabolic rate is influenced by many different factors, such as your age, gender, height, body weight, but also certain hormones, such as adrenaline and thyroid hormones. But it is also heavily influenced by lean body mass, so the amount of muscle mass that you have. And the more muscle mass, the higher your resting metabolic rate. The second component influencing your total daily energy expenditure is thermic effect of food. This is the energy it takes to digest, absorb, and store food. This is usually between 8 and 15% of your total energy expenditure, but it can vary with how many calories you consume, when you consume them, but also how your meals are composed. For example, digesting a high protein meal will burn more calories than digesting a high carb meal. And the last portion of your total daily energy expenditure is made up by any physical activity. And the current body of research distinguishes between exercise activity thermogenesis, or EAT, and non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT. EAT is all energy that you spend during formal exercise. So whenever you do a workout in the gym or you go for a run, energy that you spend during these workouts will contribute to your exercise activity thermogenesis. The other portion of your activity-related energy spending is NEAT. NEAT is all energy that you spend on activities which are not sleeping, eating, and exercising. So that can be cooking, grocery shopping, but also sitting at your desk and writing emails, watching Netflix, things like that. But how can the knowledge about these components of your metabolism now help us understand why you will not look like your favorite influencer even if you follow the same training and the same diet? Well, let's break it down into its components. The first component is resting metabolic rate. And as we saw, it is influenced by many factors such as age, gender, body weight, height, hormones, etc. So let's assume all these things are the same between you and your favorite content creator. Then, most likely, resting metabolic rate will also be the same. Now, because you're following the same diet as your favorite content creator, your thermic effect of food will also be the same. The third component is exercise activity thermogenesis. Because you follow the same training routine, and because you have the same age, gender, body height, weight, etc., we can assume that you spend the same amount of energy during your workout session as your favorite content creator. And that leaves us with NEAT. According to the scientific literature, NEAT represents the main variable component of total daily energy expenditure within individuals, and it also varies substantially between individuals. So this means differences in NEAT can actually explain why people who train the same, eat the same, have the same age, height, gender, body weight, etc. burn quite different amounts of calories each and every day. And in fact, studies have shown that NEAT can vary by as much as 2,000 calories per day when comparing two adults of similar body size, lean body mass, age, and gender. And to give you an example from myself, when I worked in the lab, I walked 15,000 steps easily every single day, on top of my regular workouts and my commute and all my other activities. Now that I'm sitting on the desk all day preparing these videos, I'm very happy if I get 5,000 steps in every day. And although everything else, my workout, my diet, my other responsibilities stayed the same, simply by reducing my step count, I burn fewer calories now. And this is exactly what you don't see in any vlog or Instagram post or what I eat in a day video. You only see how they eat and how they train, but you don't see what they're doing during the other 20 hours of the day. And that's why the caloric needs of you and your favorite content creator can differ quite dramatically, although on the surface everything is the same. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something about your metabolism, and if you did, then please give me a huge thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to watch more science explained videos just like this, then check out this playlist right here, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye!